T.I.'s son, King Harris, has been arrested after not appearing in court and some other things connected to his actions.
Still trying to coddle him for. Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
We've rarely seen a celebrity story twist this hard. Right now, the world's on edge, waiting for updates about King Harris lying in intensive care after what insiders call a vicious prison attack. It sounded like a movie scene. King left half-conscious, dragged under heavy guard to the infirmary while chaos ripped through his block. The Harris family, straight panic mode.
Being arrested isn't really like the shocker. It's him coming out and his, I guess, reaction to it, right? Because everybody's saying, King, you grew up privileged, bro. Why are you going down this path? Now he's talking about F the police, F12. So, you know, it just, he.
But don't get it twisted. This wasn't no random scuffle. Reports painted as a setup, a cold ambush meant to humiliate or warn him that fame don't shield you inside those walls. As soon as the news hit, social media exploded, speculation, wild theories, and whispers about prison politics. One insider swears King had a target on his back for weeks, marked for embarrassment the moment he walked in. Others say the hate was deeper. He was already resented for his family's fame and the way he carried himself, acting like he ran the yard.
Have been able to do that if it wasn't for Family Hustle.
Right.
Now, it does come with some, you know, it's some adversity. It's some adversity to come with that. People get in your business.
Yeah.
Warnings were out there. Too flashy, too cocky, not built for that kind of life. Those words just came alive. T.I., restless and desperate, is burning up phones, lawyers, politicians, anybody who can pressure Georgia's system, ready to pay, beg, or bargain to snatch his son out. Meanwhile, Tiny is locked in her own war room, moving with lawyers and PR hitters. But insiders whisper the marriage is buckling under pressure. Friends say the arguments are sharp, leaving people wondering if they're fighting for King's survival or tearing each other apart. And now the shadows get darker. Some whispers claim this wasn't about respect at all, but tied to a bad contraband move.
I graduated. That's the only good thing they posted of me going viral. I'm not on the media's good side. I don't know why, but it ain't.
Word is King either refused to play along or worse, thought he could outsmart the wrong crew. That mistake, deadly. So was this just prison beef taken too far, or was King deliberately lured into a trap? Close sources say he got walked into a hot zone where 3 inmates pounced, right when cameras mysteriously blacked out. Officials deny any glitch, but one of T.I.'s ex-road managers summed it up best. It's Georgia. Cameras break when they need to break. King's condition is still shaky, and now the family drama is spilling all over social media. The Harris clan has locked arms before, but never with this much pressure. Fans still remember that viral Falcons game clip where T.I. yanked King in a headlock after an argument about his childhood, snapping, "You are embarrassing yourself and your family."
Steve Sadar reached out to me looking to make a deal on behalf of T.I. and Tiny. And I told Steve Sadar that my clients want justice. So if the deal involves Tiny and T.I. turning themselves in and admitting to the crime that they've committed, then fine, we got a deal. But if it does not, then I would prefer to have the investigators do their work and to bring criminal charges against Tiny and T.I.
Back then, it felt like the lowest point, but with King lying in a hospital bed, that scene now feels like a warning sign of something way darker. Inside the prison walls, things were always risky, but lately it turned poisonous. Sources say King was taunted nonstop about his parents' scandals, especially the lingering trafficking allegations tied to T.I. and Tiny. Instead of keeping quiet, King allegedly kept flexing online, calling out rivals and hyping himself up as Atlanta's next superstar. That energy didn't sit well with older inmates. One even said, "We're not here for a reality show. We don't care who your daddy is. If you run your mouth, you get handled." Now, King's living out those lessons the brutal way. On the outside, T.I. is moving frantic, threatening to blast the prison system, while at the same time feeding select outlet stories that paint King as the victim. He's trying to flip the narrative before it's locked in stone. But the bigger question hangs heavy.
So the dynamics here are interesting, but I can't judge how. the parenting is gone, because everything that we've seen has been stuff that many of us would have said or similar if we saw our children do this. But I will say this, a lot of what's happening is because it's in the public. Like most children don't have to do this in the public.
Is it already too late to protect him? Behind all the spin, the truth is colder. What happens when a son raised to think he can't lose finally collides with reality's punch? And the heat doesn't stop there. Industry insiders whisper that the Harris family's long list of legal baggage made King an even easier target. His name even popped up in those trafficking allegations, with accusers hinting at deeper misconduct. Sabrina Peterson, the former friend who first lit the fire, went as far as threatening to drop receipts that could pull not just T.I. and Tiny, but King himself into the storm. The feds never pressed charges, but in the court of public opinion, stains like that stick forever. Just as lawyers scramble to bury one scandal, fresh ones explode, talk of a secret prison deal gone sideways, King's name popping up on a contraband ledger, and whispers that he either snitched or backed out of a payment. In prison, betrayal don't get forgiven. It gets answered with blood.
And you can, you know what I'm saying, kind of woo-saw yourself outside of the public opinion.
Mix that with his fame, his reality TV past, and the Harris family's nonstop controversies, and King turned into the perfect lightning rod for chaos. Meanwhile, T.I. and Tiny's marriage is cracking under the weight. Sources say their arguments over strategy are fiery. Tiny pushing for a softer tone, blaming outside enemies, while T.I. doubles down, convinced that only power moves and influence can keep King alive. One insider swears this is their darkest storm yet.
I really admire his dedication and commitment to the craft, because, you know, I kind of told him, you know, what was wrong about it.
Worse than the canceled shows, worse than lawsuits, even uglier than that infamous headlock moment that went viral. The emotional strain is tearing through the house, both parents snapping, the rest of the family stuck in the blast zone. Zoom out and the stakes couldn't be heavier. Once the reckless wild card of the Harris dynasty, King now faces the sharp edge of reality. With every headline and every desperate call his father makes, the question lingers loud. Does this story end with redemption or the collapse of the Harris brand itself? And here's the part no one's telling. The most brutal details of the ambush are still hidden. Prison runs on codes where money and fame don't buy safety. Respect only comes through loyalty. King, like many who walked that yard before him, is learning those rules are carved in blood, and being high profile don't shield you, it paints a bigger target. Could his celebrity actually be the curse that takes him down? Those in the know say this goes way beyond King. It's about what he symbolizes.
Making mistakes. I ain't had no daddy who would pull up and get on my ass anytime. Things I did, you can't get away with.
I know that.
He entered carrying the Harris name, reality TV baggage, and the tag of being T.Y.'s most unpredictable son. For men serving real time, that's bait for envy and old scores. Even correctional officers, speaking off the record, admit inmates like King get turned into pawns in bigger battles. Used to send warnings inside and outside the walls. Add in whispers of that failed contraband deal, plus the family's messy public scandals, and King was swimming with sharks from the very first day. This ain't just about fists, it's mental warfare too. Every look, every rumor, every whisper becomes a weapon. From the moment King stepped inside, his privileged background painted a bullseye on his back. Some inmates resented the private schools, the glossy music videos, the lawyers always on call. Others clowned him for trying to act hard when everybody knew he came from reality TV lights, not the trenches. That tension follows a pattern seen with high-profile inmates. It's like a twisted hazing ritual where fame doesn't protect you, it punishes you. Sources say rappers, athletes, even Hollywood names all face the same cold truth. If you walk in with privilege, it ain't armor, it's bait.
Man, damn. Yeah, that's I ain't see that one coming. You know
Really?
what I mean? Nah, I didn't.
For King Harris, that reality cuts deep. All those years trying to break out from privilege might have sealed his path. He pushed to prove he was tough, crafting a persona separate from the gated family lifestyle. On interviews and viral streams, King declared he stood on business, claiming he earned his stripes through street codes. But real ones know credibility ain't handed out at block parties, it's carved through scars. And the ones who push too far too fast, they're the ones who get burned. So did King's hunger for authenticity drive him straight into dangerous circles? Was he chasing respect from a world that was never gonna embrace him? The outcome looks like a nasty collision between image and reality. In the months leading up to prison, King swung from headline blow-ups to raw, exposed moments, living like every day was a test he couldn't afford to fail. Who can forget that Falcons game where T.I. threw him in a headlock for silver spoon talk? Back then, it seemed like family drama, but now it feels like a warning of what was coming. King wanted to outrun the shadow of his upbringing, but his parents' grip stayed heavy. On social media, he crafted the image of a wild card rapper, chains flashing, critics taunted. But insiders whisper that behind the show, he was restless, angry, and already drowning in waters way too deep. That clash of two identities didn't just confuse fans. It made him perfect bait for anyone chasing clout inside. His ambush rocked the prison and echoed far outside. Lawyers, correctional staff, even rival crews locked onto the story. Now the question burns, was this just prison violence or part of a bigger play to break down celebrity inmates? People are already drawing comparisons to other high-profile assaults where fame didn't crown you. It cursed you. Prison officials are scrambling to move King, desperate to shield him from more danger while also stopping others from using his name for clout. On the outside, the Harris family's war plays out under a spotlight they can't escape. Supporters flood timelines with love and prayers, while critics fire back with cold irony, saying the boy born into luxury is now trapped by a mask he could never really wear. Each headline twists the story further, blurring the line between victim and mastermind. Was King forced into chaos by the weight of his family's legacy, or did he chase the storm, thinking fame was bulletproof armor? For T.I. and Tiny, the stakes go far beyond their image. Lawyers hustle to spin the narrative while family members clash, some saying silence protects King, others warning that silence looks like surrender. The ripple effect doesn't stop there. The other Harris kids are now dragged into the storm, tangled in whispers about paternity and old family wounds. With every leak, whether from a guard or a so-called friend, the wall between private heartbreak and public scandal cracks even wider. At the core, King's struggle exposes a raw truth. The justice system chews up anyone, famous or not, who can't play by its brutal codes. No stacks of family money, no PR spin, no flashy lawyers can change the fact that inside prison, power is the only currency that counts. What began as a simple scuffle over respect has now exploded into a full-blown fight for survival, not just for King, but for the Harris legacy itself. And while T.I. scrambles behind the curtain, trying to outmaneuver a system that's already buried countless lives, the aftershocks of this prison ambush feel like they're only beginning. King clings to life in the wreckage of this attack, while the world waits to see if more secrets, rivalries, and betrayals will erupt from those concrete walls. So one question remains, are we just witnessing the opening chapter of something far darker for the Harris family? Could this attack spark a chain reaction of drama no amount of damage control can stop? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you on the next one.